Hello everyone, my name is Esther Barceló and I'm a student of the Primary Education degree in the University of Murcia, and today I'm going to present my final exam of Resources and ICT. In this case, this activity corresponds to the Social Sciences subject for children in the 6th grade of school, 11 to 12 years old, and in it they will work on the rivers, provinces, capitals of the autonomous communities and also on the relief of our country. And according to the degree of the 5th of September, the standards are the following. ACAD stands for Activity-Centered Analysis and Design, and it's a method that supports analysis and design, in which emerging activity is its focus. And this framework follows three important elements. First of all, we have the set design. This activity will be developed in 3 hours, that is to say, in a week and a half, and they will do it all in class. They will use Didactalia, Quizlet, Canva, Google Drive, and finally Padlet. In addition, as a necessary tool, they will need at least one laptop or tablet per group. Then we have the epistemic design. First, a draw will be made among the groups on the different topics, and once each group has the topic, they will use Didactalia, which will help them to study the geography, the rivers of Spain in a didactic way, and they can learn a lot from it. Then they are going to use Quizlet to create flashcards, which are very easy to create and very useful for learning, but they are going to use them later with classmates in other groups. The next day they will spend the whole hour mixing in groups and playing with the cards with other classmates to learn their topics too, but we are going to explain how they will do it later. The last hour will be dedicated to create a presentation in Canva on the 4 topics using information from the internet too to complete their own presentation, which they will be able to compile together in Google Documents. And finally, they will upload it to Padlet so that everyone has access to it and the teacher can evaluate it. Finally, we have the social design. The class has a total of 20 students and they will be grouped in groups of 4. So there will be 5 groups in total. So now, how they will develop the activity? Well, first the students will be grouped in groups of 4 done by the teacher, and then the teacher will draw lots to see which topics will be given to each group. As I said before, the topics are capitals of autonomous communities of Spain, rivers of Spain, provinces of Spain, and relief of Spain. So now let's see how to create the flashcards.
We look for the Quizlet website in Google and click on Create. As you can see, I have already created the provinces section, but let's see how to do it from zero. Here is the example of the provinces that I have already created. You can choose many game modes.
Once they have been grouped together, they will use Didactalia to measure their knowledge of their topic and to learn in a more didactic way.
It's very easy. Just Google the website and choose the topic you want to practice. As you can see, there are lots of them, even from Europe. We select the topic we want to study or practice, and then we start playing.
The next day, one student from each group, chosen by the teacher, will move to another group with his laptop or tablet, so it's essential to have at least one per group. Also, having more will speed up the work on other activities. When the student has moved to the other group, they will test their classmates with the flashcards, playing to see if they know the answer or not, so they can learn together. On the last day, they will have an hour to create a presentation in Canva about what they have learned, using information from the internet too, which they will compile in Google Docs.
Once you have finished the presentation in Canva, you only have to copy the link of the presentation and Google Documents and attach it to a Padlet that will be assigned by the teacher.
The main ethical problems that students may encounter are perhaps fights or arguments in the distribution of the tasks or during the performance of the work. On the other hand, the lack of technological tools may be a problem, but as there are groups of 4, it is almost certain that some of them have a laptop or a tablet, as it's much more complicated to do it on a mobile phone. Moreover, the groups, as they are not formed by themselves, maybe they don't feel enough comfortable or
I have classified each tool with this table. You can see them all in more detail in the transcript of the video in the information box.
Doing this activity without the use of technology will be very complicated and almost impossible to do it properly, because all the activities need technology to be done, except for the flashcards, which can be done on a cardboard and by hand. But doing them on a computer or tablet will help them to save time and get more in touch with the technological world. This activity has the advantage that it can be carried out from home without any problem, as long as you have a technological tool and internet connection, since all the tools that they are going to use have the option of sharing and working at the same time, so it wouldn't be necessary to me to do so. Well, the final presentation will be evaluated according to the following rubric that you are going to see and which I have created. Well, firstly, it is necessary to know the concept of PLE. This concept refers to personal learning environment, which is a combination of tools, sources of information, connection, and activities each person uses regularly to learn. It will help students to improve its construction, because apart from learning new knowledge, they will come into contact with technologies, learning to use them, something that will be very useful for their future. And in addition, with this activity, they will learn and study in a more dynamic way and maybe in a more effective way.
Once we know the meaning of PLE, I will explain my 5 critical points I will include permanently on my PLE. Firstly, we have InShot, which is a very complete and easy to use tool, and it makes perfect videos without watermarks. I usually use this tool on my mobile phone to edit any video, as it's very easy and fast. Next, we have Wix, a tool that I didn't know about until this year, but that became essential for me, as I learned to write in a blog what we were doing every week, and we use it almost every day. We always use it on the computer and at the university or at home. Google Drive, I think, is the most important point, as I use it for everything, whether on my mobile, laptop or tablet. I write all my work there. In addition, you can share documents to work at the same time. Then, DeepL has been my best ally this course, as I have also used it for everything, to solve doubts about words or phrases I didn't know without wasting time. Moreover, it can be used perfectly on the mobile phone, and I use it both at home and the university. Finally, I have never used Canva either, but when I discovered it, I hardly used anything else. It's a tool with which you can create presentations, infographics, diagrams. However, I only used it in my laptop. The first element that I consider the most important is generator and manager of emerging educational practices, as I believe that teachers need to be experts both in pedagogical knowledge and the implementation of methodologies. In addition, they must know how to use ICT to enrich these methodologies and make the most of them. This year we have used technology for almost everything. Without it, we couldn't do things properly, and we have discovered many things we thought we couldn't do. Then, another element that I consider important is the digital educational content expert, which is the core of the teacher's digital competence as a content expert and consists of knowing what strategies to use according to the needs of students. Finally, expert in the nature organizational or personal learning contexts, because it's important for teachers to be able to expand and enrich their PLE, which we talked about before, using things that we have studied before.
The grade I think I deserve is a 7, as I was not able to deliver the video within the deadline. However, I'm very proud of the result, and I try to do my best to make it as good as possible. At the classroom level, I think I have worked and fulfilled all my tasks related to the subject, but there's always room for improvement. The most important role, I think, is the facilitator, because it has great impact on the group, because it's the responsible for organizing the work, overseeing that it's carried out, and resolving any conflicts that may arise. Without a doubt, I will say the star, because I'm a very shy person and I get very nervous when I have to speak in public, especially if it's in English. However, I have dealt with it and I have been very proud, and I have also learned a lot from it. Well, this is the end of my exam, and I hope you enjoy it.